Hello, and welcome to Retro Rank Rhapsody. This episode is Rhapsody and New, Part 2, in which we fill out our first entries into the DEX list and the Wisdom list. The DEX list, which is short for Dexterity, are games that reward you for accuracy and speed. Basically, that is your life meter. It's not about how many hits you you take, I guess. It's about how fast and accurate you are. Games like Lycan games, racing games, games where you have a time limit as your health, or else if you exceed the time limit, you're gonna, game over. Yeah, those are the games that will belong in that list. The Wisdom list are basically games that, some of them would be normally conceived as action games, however there is a heavy puzzle element to them. Games like, say, Solomon's Key, if you're ever familiar with that, or, much to my brand, Adventure Lolo. But this will also include falling block puzzle games, such as, say, something like Tetris or Puyo. Games of that ilk. So, with that, let's start the episode. There we go. So, this is Point Blank. This is a Lycan game, and it's kind of interesting because you will see. So this basically kind of explains the game right here. Basically, it's a very WarioWare-ish style game, but with a gun. So basically, you got to do some sort of task, and then basically do it, or else you will take damage, kind of, or you'll lose a heart. So I'm going to go ahead and start. Put some quarters in there. Okay, so we have 3 different difficulties. I'm just going to play beginner. Let's just do this. This is a pretty simple one. So shoot the birds. Sometimes you will have a limit on bullets, sometimes you have a limit on time. In this case, we need to shoot the birds. Do not shoot the bombs, or else you will lose a life for each bomb you shoot. I am using a mouse for this. This probably plays a little bit better with an actual gun, but don't really have a way that I can do that on a PC. Yep, and you get scored based on it. And if you get the quota, you you just continue. So basically, it's just kind of similar. Alright. These kind of suck when you're using them. Oh god, that's not good. I just resized the window. Yep. That one's kind of hard to do on a computer. Hello.
What the hell is this?
This is Point Blank. We gotta shoot ninjas.
Yeah, okay. So it's a shooting range.
Yep, pretty much. Oh.
Also, I appreciate that the link on your bot is broken.
You did. Oh, is it?
The exclamation mark.
Oh, right. Oh, also this one's gonna be really super easy with this.
Ah, yes, with your setup.
Yeah. Let's just do this. Pop. Also, let me do this so that it's a little bit easier to see. Also, what's great is that. Ooh, here.
No, that's even harder to say.
Also, I need to resize this a little bit. Okay. Oh, where is it? Yep, I just lost my... Yeah, let's just go back there. Okay. Okay, so sometimes there will be very hard ones, which are exactly what they seem. So basically, we have to shoot all 38 targets and not miss. And as you can kind of see, the thing with this one is that they gradually get smaller. But there you go.
And the issue is more the time limit.
Yeah.
Okay, but look at the points for time.
Yeah. So here's kind of another challenge that there's a lot of. Is basically, this is meant to be played of 2 players, and these are basically, you need to shoot your own colors. Do not shoot the other, do not shoot blue. If you're red, and vice versa if you're playing as player 2. And you really don't want to shoot.
The hell is this music? Like, what is the music for this?
Interesting. I'll save that one. Oh, okay. Oh, this all.
Yeah, you gotta shoot your own color.
Oh. Oop. There we go. Okay, so here's another kind of type of challenge. Oh, actually, no, this isn't what I thought. Okay.
Gotta shoot the bird into the boat.
Your color. Oh god.
No, you're killing those men!
Oh, I didn't realize. I just realized we didn't swim. So there are the kind of the people that are there are kind of representative of. There's 2 mascots for the game, which are Dr. Dan and Dr. Don. I believe Dr. Dan is the short-head one, and Dan is the long-head one. Let's pick that one. There.
This reminds me of another game, like the art, and I can't remember the name of the game.
Okay. Oh, here's the other type of thing, where you're supposed to protect Dr. Dan. Oh, it's Dan and Don.
Panic,
So...
that's what it reminds me of.
Oh, yeah, that's a completely different thing altogether, but yeah.
I'm aware, but just the art style, particularly for those guys, reminds me of it.
I can kind of see it.
This is something, this challenge.
Yeah, but protecting them to make sure they don't get hit is definitely, they do that a lot.
I don't know, maybe he deserves it.
Let's see, how can this be hard? Oh. Oh, that's how, oh.
Oh, you are turbo boned.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I can cover this. Oh, I got it right in time!
Holy shit. How in the actual fuck?
Okay, well, and then this is just gonna be another Ninjas one.
Yeah.
There's another one that's very similar to this, but where you're trying to shoot criminals and not ninja. The thing with those, and I'm surprised they're not in this one, but the criminals one, there will also be hostages that are also floating around.
Sure, ninjas don't take hostages, they kill everyone.
I guess. Squeak that
no.
one too.
Shut up, you don't get. Shut up.
What?
About the ninjas taking hostages.
There we go.
Oh damn, you fucking destroyed that
Yeah,
one.
that one's a lot. That one's really easy.
So what's this for?
Oh, this is an arcade game.
And granted, you're using a mouse and not an actual light gun, so this is a lot easier.
Yes. In
Okay, so
certain
that's-
cases.
Well, yeah.
So that's what I was wondering, was like, how's the light gun handling going?
Gotta take the shot.
Nice.
That one was actually a pretty good one.
Yeah, this game. Oh, this one kind of sucks.
Oh no, we're gonna have to murder a dragon.
There we go. Like Space Harrier.
Yeah, just shoot to death the Space Harrier ass dragon.
God, oh god, this one is. This one sucks. Because with an actual gun, you'd be very.
You could snap, yeah.
Yeah, you can snap a lot. And the weird way that main kind of handles light gun or the cursor now is really weird because before it was just a put the mouse where you want on the window. But now it is a you drag. Which
Ooh, that's not good.
It's like with a mouse, you have more fine.
This one's, so there's a lot of that are basically just like, okay, well, how many is good? 3 seconds. Okay, here we go. Nope. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Damn,
a
you
quarter
lost
puncture
2
there.
hearts.
Okay, and now that we've beaten the 16 stages.
Finally, we can go to the castle.
Okay. I've never gotten it to break all of them. I think that
I would imagine.
I'd imagine that it's meant to be more done with 2 people.
Yeah, that seems like it.
Man, that seems like really good, actually.
Yeah, it did actually.
Like, it seemed like a solid light gun game.
Yeah,
Which one was this again?
this is Point Blank.
Okay.
Well, because like the multiple minigame style actually works really well for this sort of thing. Why is that a little off center?
I don't know. Okay. Well. Okay.
Oh no, I like this. Doing your initials. Yes.
Let's see. Nope, it did it.
It took it. Nice.
Okay, but I like the high scores.
So
It's
yeah,
really good.
This game in Japan.
For sure,
is known
gun
as-
bullet game.
Yeah, because the name of the game in Japan is called Gun Bullet. So,
Okay, that's a good name though.
let's actually just try. Let's try expert just to see if we get
Very hard.
Oh, I see. Okay, I see
Time for
a challenge
spooky.
coming up. Okay, so this is just gonna be. Whew. That was-
Holy shit.
Nice job.
Okay, I'm getting way too lucky. That should be good. Yeah. Oh god, no, I was right on the money. That
Whatever.
That is a very thin margin. Okay, I think we had this one last time. Whoop, nope. I don't think I'm gonna get this one.
Look, as long as you last long enough, that's what matters.
Jeez!
Holy fuck.
I'm getting really. Oh god.
Man!
This one's gonna suck.
Oh, it's gonna suck a lot. Go shoot the tank.
Oh god, here we go.
Oh, this is rough.
The thing is, I think.
Yeah, this.
Oh. Nope!
Oh, you're so close too.
Okay, and then. Yeah, because the thing with
Another
the
house
it is
of dead
basically like, okay, your quota is higher, and yeah.
That said, I do appreciate that there are defined difficulty levels.
Yes.
Yes, that's very nice.
Okay.
Hey, go to skin your teeth on that last one.
Okay, this one should be... There we go. That one is definitely going to be a little bit easier on... Oh! Here we go.
Yes!
Okay.
Just gotta shoot that fucking car.
Okay.
Just mash on that.
Oh, my car.
Amazing.
Oh.
Oh, hey, but look at the time you had left.
Yes, I did see that. It was very nice. Oh god, here we go.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, this is one of those ones that sucks on mouse.
Nope.
Yeah, that really sucks on
Yeah.
mouse.
Yeah, especially if it has to be dragged.
Yeah, exactly. Because once again, it's the mouse gives more precision, but also the light gun gives lets you snap more.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, the actual light gun on from the machine is very basic.
It wouldn't need to be complicated.
Yeah. I can't even remember if it even had a set of iron sights on it. Or like little notches. Okay. I've been like 100% on that, so I wonder if that's a quota of something. Like it's not actually random. Because every time I've done this, I've gotten a life. Also, oh god, here we go.
Cat bug!
Okay. Okay, so... Whoop. Oh! That makes it even easier.
Yeah, I think it's only the very hard ones that punish you for
Oh,
fucking up.
you don't even have to do it in order.
That's weird.
Yeah, that's weird.
Oh, here's a criminals one. So it's very similar to the ninja one. It's just, occasionally there will be... Don't shoot the civilian. So very much a Hogan's Alley kind of thing. Especially that one was pretty devious. Also, I really got close to shooting that hostage.
On the
Look,
bright side,
it's-
you kind of destroyed it.
It's all that time in SWAT. SWAT with Torpo has given you the
Here we go.
precision shooting.
Please do not talk to me about precision shooting, ever. I do not need this in my life.
Nope. Okay, nope.
Yeah, as I say, as long as they don't hit him, that's what matters. It
Yes,
seems
bro.
like.
Okay, and then this one.
It's fine. Fuck them.
Okay, this one you don't want to shoot. If you shoot the parachute, they will just make the target drop immediately.
You have to really fuck up to hit the parachute, though.
At least I think that's how it works. Nope. Ah! Wow, that one's tough.
Whoa, that is rough. Yeah.
Yeah, that's...
Okay, what the hell is this one?
I want to do cow. Yeah, let's do cow. Oh,
Oh,
you need to
good
hit.
lord.
Oh, can you get the good cut of meat?
Oh, good. It at least it had the decency to blink. Like, hey, here's the highest.
Yeah, that's nice.
Man, you got a perfect score for some strange reason.
Okay, that should be fun.
Oh god, that's a lot of fucking birds.
Oh, good lord.
Oh yeah, you're panicking.
Nope. Nowhere close.
Yeah. Like a lot of these expert ones are just really rough with the mouse.
Oh!
Oh no!
Oh no.
No!
God!
Oh, that's so close.
Oh,
In your defense,
also,
you
here's the
had
nice
no-
thing, is that continuing is just... You're just...
Oh wow, that's
Yeah.
really kind.
And he'll even keep all... Oh, this is the one that sucks on mouse the most.
Man,
Oh,
this
God,
game
the
is just
flashing
bad.
is
Yeah,
not
for
good.
epileptic
So,
seizures.
the thing with that is that's actually kind of a needed thing due to the way how light guns work. So it's an unfortunate thing because the way that it kind of works is that it needs to see the light in order to actually activate. It's actually, you can definitely tell if you play an NES Zapper game because that's actually how it detects whether or not something like what on screen it hits. It will flash, like if you play a Zapper game, it'll, like every time you shoot, the screen will go black, except for white squares will appear on screen. Like, that's basically the hitbox of whatever you're trying to hit.
Okay.
Which unfortunately is very not kind to those who are photosensitive, but it's kind of how that had to work.
Yeah, I can understand that. Just, ooh.
Yeah. What? Oh, here.
Congrats, you did it.
I don't think I've ever seen the credits for this.
This is some really good music.
Yeah. The music in this game's really good.
I mean, some bits are more discordant than others, but overall, yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, now that we know... See here, it also shows how many continues you did. So, that is where you get your equivalent of a plus of 1 to the score. But yeah, that is Point Blank. Very enjoyable arcade game. Unfortunately, I can't do... There's actually a way you could probably play it at least as close to...
Okay,
could
but other color target.
I never noticed that. There's actually a PlayStation port of this game, which is actually relatively faithful. It even has an RPG mode, of all things, which I might actually take a look at later. Not anytime soon, but yeah, take a look at it. So,
Neat.
yeah, so why don't we go ahead and rank that? Well, I don't think we really have a choice right now where to put it.
We're in DEX, right?
Yes, this is the DEX list. So that's Point Blank. It's episode 3. It was a 1993 game by Namco for the arcade subgenre of, I think I have it on here. Gun, yes. So it's a very cheery game. So give it a cheery. I'm gonna put a photosensitive warning, just due to the nature. It's kind of something you can't really avoid, but yeah, it's something you need to kind of watch out for. I'd say this game had a better than average soundtrack. So I think I'll probably I mean it's good, but I don't think it's like really great. So I think I'm gonna put a B. The game is very charming with all of its little things. So let's see where we go. A or B? What B for now? It is very well designed. I will go ahead and say that for a light gun game. It is. There are several other light gun games that kind of have something similar, and this is actually well before WarioWare. So the idea of doing like little challenges is definitely before its time. And for what it does, how it does it, it actually does it really well.
Yes.
So there wasn't really anything that I'd call like cheap or anything.
Yeah.
And I think for what it tried to do, I think it actually, I would say it's worthy of an A just solely because of how it's actually very innovative for the time. So, yeah, I would personally call it an A. I don't know if you would have any objections.
Yeah, that seems fine.
Okay, and then for impact, I'd say that this game was relatively well known at the time. Well,
That's on you. I can't help there.
yeah, I'm trying to think. I would actually probably put this as a D, because I definitely say this game as a, like, among people who know about light gun games, I'd say that it's relatively well known. Like, it is one of the more well known ones, but that's such a rare genre nowadays that, yeah.
So would like a NES or A rank be something like Time Crisis then? Or House of Dead?
For A rank, I actually don't know for a good light gun game what we consider. I'd say for a light gun game, unless it's something, I don't even know if there would be an A rank light gun game because, except for maybe Time Crisis. But yeah, it definitely had its fans, but nowadays there was like the last game I think was like actually I take that back because I think like 2 years ago there was a mobile phone adaptation of this, but it probably would be a D because I don't think that a lot of people know about Point Blank.
I never heard of it until today.
Same.
So I'll put that as a D. Personally, I would say that this is aged actually really well.
It is.
Yeah, I would say like it is as fun to play now as it was back then. Like even playing with a mouse, it's still really fun to play. If you somehow, the only thing I would say for the age is getting a setup that could actually do it relatively close to the way it was. That is slightly difficult. So, but from the actual game, I would say it's an A. And also touch, I would also give it probably either an A or B, solely because it is very nice. Like in terms of like difficulty, like it's like, hey, it gives you all the information you need. There's plenty of difficulty ratings that you can change. Like even on the PlayStation version, definitely there's a lot of little handicaps that you can give your. Oh, I don't know if handicap's the right word. It's basically very configurable so that even if you're a relative beginner, that it's not terribly difficult. So I would give that an A.
Yeah, no, it's nice that there are difficulty settings.
Yeah. So yeah, that will bring us to the next game, which I need to take a quick break. So I will be right back in just a moment. All right, since this is Lola from the future, so it turns out that when we're recording this segment, the segment for this particular game on stream, for some reason my emulator decided to have really bad sound issues, rendering the sound of the game really scratchy and really not good at all. So I figured I'd actually just take another recording. This game is short enough that you can see pretty much everything, just so that you can actually, get a better experience out of the game. So this game is Track and Field. It is a 1983 Konami game. It is basically it is one of the first Olympic-style video games. Not the... there was another game called by Atari... I think it was either Activision or Atari, called Decathlon, that came out the same year that actually is very similar to this. So I don't know which one, with these kind of old releases, you can never tell which actually did come first. Because usually you're only given a year, especially for arcade releases. So basically it's track and field events. It's various different Olympic events that involve running. This game does the way that you control is actually rather interesting, because you think if you were just like doing a joystick, just holding right, that's not going to be really interesting. So the control panel for this game was 3 buttons. The left and right buttons actually serve as your run buttons. So what you would do is you would just rapidly mash the buttons in order to get yourself to run. And when I say mash, I mean really mash. You need to hit these things really quickly in order to actually get speed out of them. And then your middle button will actually serve as your jump button for events that require jumping. Now, enough of that. Let's get on with the game. Okay, so first thing you do is you input your initials.
On your mark.
Okay, first event is the 100-meter dash, and it's the most basic one.
Get set.
And as you can probably hear, you just mash on the button. Just mash as fast as you possibly can. The computer opponent that you will always in these events sometimes face against a different opponent, doesn't really serve you any. Okay, so this one you just mash. At some point, your speed will stop building up, and you have to make sure you get a 45-degree angle. So the computer opponent events, basically that's there to serve as an analog for because you can play it with up to 4 different other people. Let me try this again. Yeah, you can play with up to 4 people. Other people's scores really don't affect yours, which is why this is in... It's more of a dexterity test rather than in, say, something like Charisma. It's not really a versus game, because you basically do as well as you can. That doesn't really affect anyone else. Yeah, so it's basically just like, oh, who had the best time, which I think just affects score. And yeah, so that's the long jump. Javelin throw is very similar to the long jump, except, well, actually it's kind of the same event. Just that at some point, you have to continuously build up the speed. Now, actually, I wonder if I can show off an Easter egg, because a lot of these events actually have hidden bonuses if you do something special. So if I hit this high up in the air, you hit a bug. But don't do that if you haven't qualified, because it doesn't count with qualification. Whew, got that as close as I possibly could. Also, it's nice seeing the old Konami logo. Okay, the next event is very similar to the 100-meter dash. It's the hurdles.
On your mark.
So basically, speed isn't... You need to build up speed, but not as much. You really need to focus on... This is basically a timing exercise. So basically, you just hit jump. And there's a certain rhythm that you have to get in order to actually do this well. It's actually one of the easiest events to world record. No, those world records are built into the game, so it's not like it's stuff that I've done before. In this event, I hate. This is a hammer toss. There's no speed build-up in this one. You just hit the button and it'll go for you. It's entirely timing. Also, you can tell that this is, I believe, on normal difficulty. You can tell that the difficulty is starting to build up by barely even qualifying. I've already beaten a world record. I think I'm actually starting to get the timing down on that. Oh! So that actually should have given me a bonus. However, when you get a world record, it'll cancel out bonuses. If you have the last 3 digits of your time all match, that will give you a bonus.
The distance, 74.27 meters.
Okay, and the last event is actually one of the more complicated ones. There is zero, like the hammer toss, there is 0 time buildup, or speed buildup. It's entirely timing. So basically, it's kind of hard to tell when you're not playing, but you see that your character has 3 frames of animation. You need to kind of get it so that he'll kind of make an arc. So at first you want to get him, he'll go high, so you want him to build up thing, and then eventually he'll arc. And that is when you really want to hold down the start or the jump button in order to get yourself to get onto the mat.
2.30 meters.
Yeah, and it's just, you can gradually hold down the start button to get it to reduce the angle. Or jump button. Yeah.
Foul.
This is actually, yeah, it's weird, because this is actually the qualifying. If I don't get this right, I will actually technically not qualify.
Foul.
Normally there is you don't have any lives, so if you fail to qualify any event, you will actually game over. But I view myself alive because that is an option you can set in diff switches. I believe the default you can actually get one, and it's actually weird because I don't think there is actually a way you can get it normally in one loop. I believe it is 100,000 points, and that's the only time you can get an extra life.
2.37 meters.
So yeah, it'll just gradually build up one. Don't know exactly, but basically it'll go up. Yeah, it'll just go up 1 until you eventually fall 3 times.
2.37 meters.
And then here's actually kind of a weird thing. Yeah, so in this screen, there's been a couple. There's particularly one re-release of this game on the DS. They definitely changed the music. Because if you're not familiar, this is actually that was actually the main theme from the movie Chariots of Fire by Vangelis, or the song was by Vangelis.
Get set.
And then whenever you finish all the events, you just do it, and basically it's the same event but with stricter qualification.
The time, 10.07 seconds.
Yeah. So that is track and field. It's a fairly simple event. So let's get back to the ranking from the actual episode. That is track and field. Let me also do something.
It sure is.
Yes. Okay, so yeah, that was track and field. I would definitely say that it probably goes below Point Blank. Even though I personally enjoy that game a lot.
Oh wait, you did Point Blank?
Yes, we did Point Blank.
Oh, what is it called actually? Not Point Blank.
Like, the name in Japan?
Yeah.
Gumbullet.
Gunbullet, yeah. The WarioWare.
Yep. Also, by the way, your mic's just a little bit crackly.
Well, to be fair, it is my iPhone headphones. I'm laying in bed
that would explain it.
watching the stream on my iPad, and doing Discord on my iPhone.
I wouldn't say there's any I wonder if I should make a thing that's basically okay. This game's going to require a lot. This game is actually somewhat exhausting.
What game?
Track and field.
Yeah. No, it's thankfully we cut it off early.
Yeah. So I think that should be.
OST doesn't exist.
Yeah, doesn't exist. World built. It's there.
It's technically a world insofar as building upon something that already existed.
Yeah, it is not bad, but it is also there.
Enjoy our pseudo Olympic games.
And craft, I mean, it
It's
did
functional.
exactly what it needed to do.
Yeah.
So
Say B.
I disagree.
I mean,
For 1983, it was a B.
I mean, technically, it didn't. I mean, I'm just trying to think if there's anything to really detriment it, and I can't really think of it. It's basic, but it still did what it needed to do, and it doesn't really pull any dick moves.
It wore out arcade machines' boards. That's all it did.
Yeah. I would still probably say C. And then for impact, let's see.
It inspired a genre, Mario Party.
Yes. I would still probably say B because it was like one of the big. It was like pretty much every Olympic game after it kind of basically can trace its roots down to track and field.
You wouldn't have the power pad without track and field.
That's yes. But I would say
I'm not saying-
probably in that case, I would probably say it's definitely B because it definitely inspired the subgenre. But would I call it A because I don't know how?
Oh, I'm not saying A. I'm
Yeah,
just saying you
I'm
need to
thinking-
give it at least a B.
Yeah, I'm thinking B then. Age.
F.
I mean,
It's still perfectly functional. It's just
it
very
is-
simplistic.
There's very few games nowadays that cause you to like give you carpal tunnel like track and
Yeah,
field gives.
it's almost like
But what's
It's
worse,
almost like-
the fact
quality of life and ergonomics have improved over the years.
I was gonna say, what's worse that you get a hand cramp from doing the rapid fire tapping, or that you tear a hole in your palm
from Mario Party.
from Mario Party? It's the
That's
same
why you
thing.
wear the glove.
Also
Oh.
the
I'm not a bitch.
Oh. I mean, he's got a point. But also, I forgot to mention the whole various tricks of how to actually that people got around from mashing it, such as the thing where they would you would use a coin to basically to kind of. I never got the pattern of doing it down right. But basically, you just rub a coin really quickly on the buttons, like on the edge of the button, so you can press it really quickly. There's also the ruler method, which you press down a ruler on, so that basically you press down on one side, so that one side that would be raised up on the buttons. And you just rapidly tap the ruler, so that would just bounce the vibration of you bouncing it up and down would press the buttons. So.
The whole thing's not right, but whatever.
Yeah. I would probably then. At that point, I'd kind of give it a. I'm debating about whether.
I'd give it a D just because games over time have cared more for the quality of experience of a user.
Yeah, I was probably.
I was gonna say,
Not killing a person's hand.
And yeah,
Like modern games tend to go to great lengths to keep shit from like that from happening.
well, like put it this way, like Primal Rage when it came
Yeah.
out, it had a very complex move system, and it was
Yeah.
quickly overlapped. Then you look at something like Smash Brothers with a very simplistic move system that doesn't involve the awkwardness and the weird hand positions, and it was much better loved.
yeah.
I would think simplicity would reign over sheer button mashing.
Right.
And if you look at things now, like let's think about it. What's the last game that you actually had to do like serious button mashing with like any consequence in it? Like, because even like a game that was like revolving around button mashing, like Ashura's Wrath, like even that, it was low stakes.
Yeah, also, the frequency that you have to tap in those is still not as nearly as high as you do in track and field.
Exactly.
No, Track and Field is all tapping.
It is all tapping and very extensive tap. Like, the amount of tapping is a lot.
There's a shitload of tapping and there's no cooldown, like really. Like there's the rhythmic tapping also. But that's very short term.
Which rhythmic tapping was something that later Olympic games would do, where it's not about the frequency of what you tap, it is the rhythm of what you tap.
I was actually going to say, like, that actually shows where the NES version shines over this, where you look at an event like skeet shooting, where it is still tapping, but it's tap, 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 tap,
And that
tap,
is also
tap, 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 tap.
Yeah, because that also is something that so that is something that the sequel of this this arcade game that rather than they decided, well, since everyone in this game or every event except for maybe two involves rapid tapping, I think there's only 2 of them in the sequel that actually 3 that I can think of where they decided like, oh, it's not. Just mashing's not as fun. It's actually doing something else as well.
Well, yeah, because you look at like the original track on the NES, and I could care less about triple jump. I could care less about like hurdles or 100-meter dash. I wanted to play archery. I wanted to play skeet shooting. You know, those were the ones that were fun.
Yeah. So in that case, I guess probably giving it a D in that case.
I would absolutely say a D.
Yeah, that sounds good. And then touch, like the difficulty of it.
Oh, I mean, the arcade version at the very least scales super fucking
F. Yeah. F.
I don't know if I'd say F. Yeah, D for touch.
Yeah. It's not a bad game, it is just aged poorly.
Yes.
And once again, it was an arcade-ass arcade game.
I was going to say, it's not so much that it aged poorly, it's just irrelevant nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it, actually.
All right. So I think that's enough of track and field.
Yeah, fuck that game.
Let's move on to something completely different.
Yeah.
Solar Assault. Oh, no, sorry.
No, not Solar Assault. No, although it is also much like track and field, it is a Konami game. A very relatively obscure one, because I actually don't know if this came out statewide. But one thing, if we're talking about, because we've talked about, okay, gauging on accuracy and like finesse of doing something, time is also a big deal. So we need to look at least at one racing game. Except this game is actually technically, I mean, it's a car game. But this game I actually was debating about doing this for ranking of shmups. This is City Bomber.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
It's real fucked up, man.
This is a really weird game. Because, let's see, I think it's a top-down car game that very much gauges you on your time. But it's kind of like there's some old games like Bump and Jump and Road Fighter, which are top-down racing games. So this is like that, but also has a little bit of action elements. So this will kind of explain some of the power-ups that you have. So you have a jump button, and you can get different power-ups.
Wow, that sound effect though.
Yeah, the sound effect is cool.
I thought this was a sports game. I was looking for Tech Move next.
No, this isn't just sports games. This is anything involving trying to kind of gauge like time or like basically trying to be accurate or some other way.
So no Tech Move.
No technical.
Oh.
Okay, so let's go ahead and start.
I wish I could say I was going to leave because of that, but I was going to leave anyways. Y'all enjoy the rest of the episode.
Later, dude.
Okay, so holding up, we'll speed you up. So, colored cars are. Oh, you also have a normal shot.
It's also really loud.
All that. Okay, so now that we got that power up, where your shot's basically just this kind of rocket launcher thing. And once we get this, we can jump up real high. The goal that we are trying to do is basically, you see at the side where it's kind of shows up our progress?
Yep.
Yeah, basically we need to get to the end by the time limit. Also, we can destroy that helicopter.
So this just seems like the Spy Hunter clone, honestly.
Kind of. This game plays quite a bit differently. This is a lot more about. The Spy Hunter is more about actually destroying things. This is actually about just getting there or getting to the end as fast as possible.
Okay, yeah, because it reminds me a lot of Spy Hunter.
Yeah, I can definitely see that, but they play completely differently.
Okay.
And the overall goal is completely different. Also, you technically have infinite lives. If I were to do something that would cause my car to explode, I would just kind of respawn. But obviously that's going to take up a lot of time. Okay. Yeah, I was actually thinking about doing this episode or this game for an episode. Oh, we want that. Okay, so anytime we see a red car, we want to destroy that immediately, because that's the thing that gives the saw power up. And now, see, that's the thing about your speed. In these levels, you kind of need to maintain your speed. Which unfortunately don't, okay.
Yeah, fuck you!
Yeah, here's the thing that you kind of want the saws for. These bushes will kill you instantly if you run into them. Oh.
This game's kind of a dick.
Kind of. It's very much something you need to be.
Okay, this is hilarious though.
Yeah.
No, this is really good. Like the actual, like, you're gonna fucking die constantly in this, and that is not great. But also, the bouncing is really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Good. Okay, that's gonna be good. Okay, we're good. See, this
Time
is why
to clear cut.
This is why you want the saws at basically at all times. And the nice thing about the saws is providing that. Okay. Also, one nice thing is that they will bounce, powerful bounce on things that you can't like reach. Whoops.
Jokes on the turn was too tight.
Okay.
I really hate the honking.
Yeah, it's kind of annoying.
Yeah.
There we go. Just barely squeaked that by.
But you did it.
Oh, there we go. Need to move it so I can actually see the chat. So yeah, this was a very time probably up, and now we got cops on us.
That's fine. Cops are losers anyway.
Okay.
All cops are bad.
Oh. God damn it. There we go. Okay, here's the thing that sucks about this ending. Oh, got it right. You could definitely just straight run up into the wall at that point.
No, it's really good though. Just good game design.
Also, look how this level's slightly long.
Oh, sweet Jesus. So what is this power up that you have?
Speed up.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh yeah, you'll really need that one here.
Except here's the problem. You can kind of see what the problem's going to be.
That's why I'm being sarcastic.
Turns.
Okay, but I like that you can ride the wall of it.
Yeah, so that is something very nice. So basically the thing is, anytime you see that the arrow saying, hey, you're about to get, there's going to be a sharp turn, you want to brake immediately.
Did you just ride on top of those cars?
Yes.
Is there a wheelie button?
Unfortunately, no. Oh.
Why do you keep doing wheelies?
I think it's when you get to a certain speed. When you get to a certain speed, it will do it automatically.
God, you suck at this mountain. It's gonna ride that wall.
Yep. Yeah, that was going way too fast, too.
Yeah,
definitely not beating the stage.
Awful.
Also, we're now into a volcano.
Sure, whatever, fine. What? Okay. Sure. Yeah,
We're
I feel
not
like
making
the glide
this
one
one.
will be the best ability here. Yeah, you're not making that. That timer is way too tight.
So yeah, that is... Oh. Let's see. I doubt... Basically, I don't think it's going to... Any game pre-19, say, 93 is going to do anything about that. So yeah, that is City Bomber.
I mean, it's interesting, but it's unforgiving.
It's a Konami arcade game, all right. Unfortunately, also there is no continuing. There's also 5 stages, as you can kind of see here. Yeah, the last stage is basically something very similar. I think you're going through a city, but it's very similar to the first stage, except there's a lot of buildings that you can get hit buildings and all that. So yeah, that's kind of a thing you need to watch out.
You're in a city.
Yeah. So that is a City Bomber. Oop, wrong button. Okay. So yes. Oh, God damn it. Okay. Okay, please. There we go. Okay. So yeah. I would probably put it above Track and Field. I don't know if I'd put it above Point Blank. Any thoughts?
Not particularly. I mean, the game was fine. I would definitely. That sounds like a good place for to me at least.
Yeah.
I don't have any particularly strong feelings about that game. It was an alright game.
And that might be a game that you kind of need to play in order to kind of get the full gist of it.
But it also seemed kind of bullshit was my issue.
Yeah, that also is kind of a thing. Let's see. What would I call that an action game?
I mean, I'm not sure what else you'd call it.
Yeah, because it's not a racing game per se.
No, you're not racing anyone aside from the clock.
Yeah.
It's not like a traditional racer.
It falls into this category, but it is definitely not a racing game. Because we're going against the clock, and we need to be as fast as humanly possible, or else we're going to lose. So yeah. Doesn't really have a tone. I don't think I have any content. The music was pretty good, though. That I will say.
Music was solid. Yeah, no, music was fine.
So I would say B. World, it's there.
Yeah, it's set dressing.
Craft. I think at least does something interesting with just a
It looks like
game.
it played solidly, yeah.
But yeah, I would not particularly say it. There's definitely some mechanics they could have made to make it a little bit better, such as a speedometer or some other thing.
Even with a speedometer, certain levels would have been a fucking nightmare. Like, the bridge would have been impossible no matter your speed.
Yeah, that also. Some sort of say, hey, also, one major reason why the last stage is hard is because there will be a building that just comes up, you're going as so fast you can't do anything about it. So, yeah. And I don't know how they would have solved for that back then, but that is...
Or like, yeah, the last level we did, part of it was just straight up, you'd have these water turns that were just completely sudden, so you would die instantly.
Yeah.
Because like it was nice where you had mountain walls, so you could actually kind of like compensate and ride up the wall, but anything with water was instant death.
Yeah. Impact, I would say this is E. Like, this game is incredibly unknown.
Yeah. No, there's a reason I thought it was like Spy Hunter when I first saw it.
The only way that I've heard about this game was because I heard it in a soundtrack compilation where some guy was remixing Konami stuff, and this came up, and I'm like, oh, what's this game? Oh, this looks kind of neat. Like, this game made zero splash, and I don't know if it even came out to the States. But yeah. Yeah, that's that for Impact. Age, I would say this game is aged pretty not great.
It is definitely showed its age.
So much like track and field, I'll say it's a D.
And once again, it is very much an arcade game, and it shows in its game design. It is supremely bullshit.
Yeah, I would say for touch, it is also a D. Because there's no continuing. This game's hard.
It's bullshit, but it's not outright malicious.
I would not put it E because I don't think it was developed to be specifically a quarter muncher, like say something like Ghosts and Goblins or say Renegade was. It is hard. But it is not. I would hesitate to say that it's fair. But it is, as arcade games go, it is plenty fair. But it definitely shows its arcadeness.
It's not as actively malicious as some are.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's going to do it for the DEX list. So, now let's head to the Wisdom list. So, this first game has a weird history with it. For one, when people usually think puzzle games, they usually think of the falling block variety. The answer that, or the game that I probably, if I was going to do the most popular of these, would have been Tetris or some variation of it. But I think I'd rather take a look at something else because it will play into actually 2 episodes from now. The game that we're going to look at has a really weird history because there's actually a game franchise that came before it that this game is a giant reference to. Now, I might as well just load this game up so it'll make a little bit of sense. So this is actually an MSX game. And I don't know if it's going to be too loud. Hopefully it's not. But this is Puyo.
Damn, fucking Puyo, shit.
So this is the first rendition of this game. The
I
thing
didn't realize
is,
it was MSX.
so yeah, the first Puyo game came out on the MSX and Famicom Disk System. This game is more this game is the gameplay of this is more the game that came after this, which shares the same name, is probably the more popular form of Puyo. But this is
Which is
actually
a match
more.
3.
Well, it's a match 3, but the thing is, the sequel really went into the versus mechanic, whereas this is basically just a straight. It's that kind of same Puyo, but meant to be played single player. There is a 2-player option, which actually, if I get into the game, we can see. There is a 2-player option, but it is just an option. It's not meant to. It's not the main mode as, say, the other games in the franchise. So yeah. Also, before I forget to mention, the previous game series that this actually came from. This is actually a spin-off of a franchise called Mado Monogatari, which Compile, who is the developer of this, also made previously. It's a really weird take on a dungeon crawling RPG, where you actually don't see that you have like numbers like health, HP, and all that, but it's actually represented not numerically, but by the emotion on your character's face.
Ugh.
And it's meant to be a little bit more friendlier of an RPG. But that game and its characters were later ported into this game. So there are 2 main game modes. Endless, which is basically the standard Puyo, and Mission, which we'll take a look at after we take a look at Endless. Mission, it's basically you do missions, which if you've ever played a puzzle game in certain falling block games, will kind of make sense. Let's see, so let's do Endless. In Endless, we have one of 2 different items we can pick. Carbuncle is the one that I normally use. Carbuncle being a character who came from... It's that little yellow thing from the title screen. Carbuncle was a big character in, I want to say, Mado Monogatari 2. Basically, Arl's friend, and that will be in pretty much every Puyo game. Like, and it kind of serves a little bit as its mascot, if not Puyos themselves. We're going to start at level 1. We got three music tracks. 2 is probably the one that has appeared in most in other Puyo games, so I'll pick that. Also, I think I need to turn this up a little bit, actually.
No, I don't need to hear this repetitive music. Please stop.
Okay, and then we can also pick sound effects, but that really doesn't know much, or do much. Okay, so Puyo.
Thank you. The title music was driving me insane.
Okay, so Puyo, falling to block, you have, basically there will be two things come down. So these little blob things, the Puyos themselves, they were basically the slime equivalent of Monogatari. And basically the goal of the game is to, when you get 4 Puyos together, they will kind of explode. Or 4 and above, I should say. Also, just a warning, I am not good at this game.
No shit.
So a big way that you're supposed to get points in this game is basically by chaining. So the Puyos themselves will have gravity. If say if I were to knock or eliminate a Puyo underneath another Puyo, it will fall down. And you can use that to chain or make chains of, like, okay, you eliminated the Puyo underneath it, that will cause it to fall into a group of 3, so that you will get more. You will get one kind of chain and then another. Which, by the way, this probably is the worst game to try and describe while you're trying to play it. So there you can see the little gravity.
And we've been seeing the gravity. It's happened multiple times.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that is the problem with trying to describe this game while also playing it. Also,
Because this
especially
one
since-
seems to ramp up super
Yeah,
hard.
that's kind of the thing, is this one ramps up really quickly.
Jesus Christ.
I will go...
Holy.
The Famicom version of this game actually
Oh,
does not
God.
nearly go quite as fast. I would imagine that this is not just an emulation thing. This is the game.
I would believe it's something to do with the MSX, yeah.
Someone called him.
So the weird thing about and I think actually I think this was meant to be the main version of the game, especially if you think about Compile, what it was doing at the time. Also, that was Carbuncle. They were
Yeah, no, I see
more-
what you mean about the single player experience.
Yeah. So yeah, there's a chain right there. Yeah. Compile was more of a computer company than a console company. In fact, the Famicom Disk System version of this game came on a one of those. So the that was totally not intentional.
We know. We all know.
Yeah. So it came on what I think was a demo disc that came in a magazine. Actually, the magazine that would eventually become Famista, or not Famista,
Famitsu.
Famitsu. They would occasionally have demo discs or specific Famicom Disk System games packed into their magazine, and this was one of them. So yeah, this is the first. Yeah, so the first release of Puyo Puyo was basically you're playing Puyo. Oh, find it. One nice thing, just to compare like other falling block puzzle games of the time. Is that the concept of the block? So when the block like touches basically the pile, that it doesn't basically stop the falling block. That you actually like, say if I do this, I can actually move it after it touches the bottom, which not a lot of puzzle games did at the time.
Did it introduce a new color, or am I losing my mind?
No, it did. So that's the thing
Okay.
that gets a little bit harder as it goes on, is that it will continuously introduce more colors.
That's the other thing too, is like the color differentiation in this one is fucking atrocious.
Yeah. Well, also, it is an MSX game, so you don't
I mean,
have.
yeah, but like 3 different shades of essentially green is not good.
Yeah, that's definitely.
Because the gray is kind of close to the light green and the green.
Yeah, that's kind of not great.
No. That's incredibly important in this sort of game. Are you just giving up at this point?
A little bit.
I noticed. Oh, Jesus.
Because yeah, it's starting to speed up now.
You've hit the fast drop. Oh, no.
We've hit not 20G, but we've hit, yeah. That's Puyo Puyo.
I mean, 20G is a fucking experience all its own, let's be real.
This particular piece of music will show up in other Puyo Puyo games. Yeah. I believe this also came from Monogatari. So this is also going to be interesting. I hope that the emulator doesn't. So.
Oh, it's gonna explode.
Okay, good. Because you gotta actually type it out, and also it's trying to do hotkeys at the same time. So yeah, that's the basic endless mode. The other mode, which I actually think is more interesting and kind of wish that more Puyo games would have. And I think actually they do this a little bit in later Puyo games. I know there's actually some Game Gear Puyo games that did this mode specifically. We're gonna start from the beginning. Do you want to do 1 or 3?
Let's do 3.
And then I'll just do this. So here we're given set things. And also this is actually very yeah, unfortunately, since it's in Japanese, we can't read exactly what it's supposed to say. But basically, you can kind of get the gist of what you're trying to do. So like that one, we were trying to clean those rows out. And then here, we're trying to pop 23 at least simultaneously. Or in one chain. Which... You do that.
I think you did
Puzzle
it.
mode, basically.
Yeah, it's this...
That's exactly what it is.
Yep. So here we're trying to eliminate... I wonder if this is gonna work?
You wanna... Let's say you might want to drop those reds.
Yeah, I think this... So, this is actually one thing that the Famicom mode, which I think is actually meant to now that I'm doing this, I think was meant to be a second rendition that they made a little bit easier. Because if you're playing the NES version, it'll actually be a little bit more friendlier. Like, it will give you the set you will need pretty much the first time. You won't have to see it come up in the rotation.
No, you won't have to do this bullshit.
Yeah.
Okay, so you need to get rid of all the reds.
Okay, so on this one... So I think in one go we need to clear out at least 6.
So you would need to build up a... Oh, groaning.
There. So here... I need... The thing that sucks here is I need a specific combination. I think. But hopefully...
Oh, yeah, so don't forget you can drop shit into the pit.
Yeah, but I think I need to do... Well, let's see. Oh, no, wait, what am I doing? It's 6 across, not 5 across. Okay. Sure. Oh,
it dropped 12 blocks, yeah.
Oh, I see what you do.
That's kind of rough because it doesn't have set patterns.
Yeah, that... And then... Oh! I did it.
Yeah, you just had to drop 12 blocks.
Yeah. Okay, so... Let's try dropping this down here. Nope. I think I did something wrong.
You screwed the pooch.
Yeah, I think I did something wrong.
Like, I don't know, the problem with this is these aren't structured enough.
Yeah. Because when other games do it... Oh! Okay, so that was just a 2-chain. Okay, and this one I bet you it's just eliminate that one spot. Or that one... There. That one. That should do it.
Yeah, because you had to eliminate all the black ones.
Yep. And this one. Yeah, the fact that it doesn't give you the piece you need immediately kind of makes these a little bit frustrating. There. Then here's gets 7. Okay, yeah, I think
I think we've seen enough of this.
Oh, what?
Yeah, you can go all the way up to the top row. It's just you can't go beyond it.
So yeah, that is the original Puyo Puyo. And there. So yeah, yep, there. That's the thing I need. So let's go in the top spot for now. I guarantee it's not going to stay.
Oh, definitely. It's aged very poorly.
That's 1991. Especially that's 1991 too.
Like, it has the misfortune of just being the first.
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
later games, when they definitely evolved.
They build and expand upon it in meaningful ways, yeah.
Yeah, the core gameplay stays pretty much identical, even to the most recent releases, but they just refined the living hell out of it.
And improve the quality of life for things like puzzle.
And tone, it's definitely, I'd say, very cute.
It is aggressively adorable.
No content. Soundtrack, I'd say...
C at best.
Yeah, I'd say it's C. It's not until later games, because the games do eventually get good soundtracks.
Oh, dear lord, do they? Yeah, it's just this one is very limited.
It's the first.
And this one, I mean, the characters, like, I mean, it's a really...
It doesn't use the world at all. It's like,
Yeah, because, I mean, there's a great amount of, like, it's meant... The way that I kind of feel about this is that it was meant to be a more of a spin-off. They're like, oh, here's a game that's based on this one game that we produce a lot of. Like, here's our little fun game that's not meant to be a big release. So I would say though that the way that they draw the Puyos is actually kind of neat. So I would maybe say I'm thinking either C or B.
like, I don't know, it pulls upon a universe that is
Yeah,
fully expanded upon, but also it doesn't use it at all, aside from the Puyos. That's it. That's all you've got.
yeah, and you see Arl on the title screen, but she plays almost no point in the actual game itself.
She plays no part. Yeah, she's just there for the title card. I would just say C, not because the world itself is bad, but because it just doesn't take advantage of it.
Yeah, the world is good.
But
It's
doesn't-
just that it doesn't use it as well as it probably
It's
could.
once again like it's just set dressing.
Doesn't Puyo end up overtaking the game that it was?
Oh,
it's-
it consumes the
It
franchise.
did it immediately. There was not
Yup.
another. There was one other Monogatari game, I think, after the release of Puyo Puyo, but it basically cannibalized the entire thing. Also, there's other things that happen, namely the quote unquote death of Compile. Definitely did not help that. Also,
That's why they stayed dead.
yeah. Also, the thing with the next game in the Puyo series that really explains why the Puyo takeoff is that when Compile wanted to make it an arcade game, they reached out to Sega. The entire reason why Puyo Puyo exists today, like the new ones come out, is entirely due to Sega. Because they own the Puyo Puyo franchise now. So, it's not so much that it kind of cannibalized... Well, it didn't... It's not that it cannibalized it. It just... It had a different owner by the end of it.
Who is much more savvy than Compile is.
Yeah. Then Kraft.
I mean, I don't know. I would say at least C, possibly B. There's a reason why mechanically it persisted.
I would say C because I'm thinking more C than B because I mean there are elements of the game that kind of don't play nice.
Yeah, well, this is a misfortune of being like completely directed.
Actually, I just
differently.
thought of something we could put down for content for this. This game might not be the friendliest for color blindness.
No, it is definitely not.
So,
Hell, there are red-green Puyos. That right there is a huge issue.
yeah, and
'Cause-
that is definitely something that wasn't really. I'm just trying to see if C overwrites something, but yeah, I'll put
I mean, have recent Puyo games had colorblind modes?
I believe they have.
Okay, good.
I
Because
believe
that would be impossible if you were red-green colorblind.
Mm-hmm. Oh, actually, that's gonna. I'll fix that later. But yeah.
And then even that, like, I was kind of struggling at points, and like I'm great at seeing color because that was just you had green, light green, and gray, but the gray was also like greenish.
Yeah.
Like, it was close to the greens, and it's like at that point it's just harder to distinguish.
Yeah.
It's especially because it gets really fast. Like in the heat of the moment, you will fuck that up. That is a guarantee.
Yeah. Like even that, like even when the lime green started to come in, I'm like, okay, am I actually hitting the same thing?
Yeah, like I thought I was fucking losing it because it just dropped in this weird light green.
Yeah. They definitely add, which, yeah, that's also weird. But yeah,
Impact is A.
the only thing I would probably give this. The only thing I would probably say this one a B. It is the sequel that is the major one that people.
I guess but this is what started the puzzle game franchise, which is why I'd say. Like, they both deserve an A. This one for starting it, and then the other for popularizing it.
I suppose. Age, I would say this one is rather low in age.
Poorly. Oh, yeah, no, it is not aged well. I'd say D.
Yeah, I wouldn't say quite E, because it's definitely
No, it's still
playable.
perfectly functional. You can play it.
Yeah.
It's just aged insanely poorly.
Touch, I would also give a D. Because
Yep.
specifically this release, the Famicom version might be a little easier, but still, if you want to play a Puyo Puyo game, there is many other different versions of the game that are more not only more accessible or like more friendlier, but
Puyo
actually more
10 is
available.
fucking amazing.
There are plenty of ways you can get the sequel to this game. This version is very specific. So yeah, that is Puyo Puyo. So yeah. I need to take just one more break real quick, so I will be right back. So this next game is also kind of a falling block game, but with a different twist to it.
Tell me more.
I'll load it up and hopefully that it actually works, because this kind of emulation has screwed me over in the past.
That jam. Oh.
It seems to be running fine. This game
Oh god.
is
So we're doing British television now.
not quite. This is Intelligent Qube.
Yes, it is.
Intelligent Club.
Oh, this
Qube.
game.
Yes. This is a very interesting game.
This game is great.
Yeah, this is a PlayStation launch title, I think. Because I remember it being on a demo disc that I got with the PlayStation. No, it couldn't have been. That's 97?
Let me check.
Let me make sure, and also I need to make sure I got the options, or like the controls all set up.
Okay, let's see.
Capture. Okay, so it's bomb. Okay.
Yeah, this is 97. This is well after the the PS1 launched, excuse me.
Yeah, it's weird. I could have unless maybe the demo came out really early.
Cause like, yeah, the PS1 came out apparently, yeah.
Yeah, it was the PS1 came out in 94.
94, yeah. came out on my birthday in '94, actually.
Okay, so this game is probably easier to. This game is very simple.
Listen to that fucking CD audio.
Let's just go ahead and start.
No, I'm loving the CD audio.
There's plenty of it in the game. So, we are this dude. We walk around. We can mark squares. That when when it marks, it will go away. The green cube, which is referred to as an advantage cube, will, when you mark it, will leave a square on the ground that if you hit triangle, will do a 3x3 pattern. Which you can then use to chain.
This music's actually really nice.
Is not going to help us at all. So the thing at the top right is actually... Oh, so I did that completely wrong. Actually is a thing for telling you how, like, for a bonus. Because it is basically telling you... I can't remember if it's moves, but there is something to it that, it is basically telling you you can clear out this entire section in that many moves. God, I forgot what they. Oh, this is.
No, this one's supposed to teach you about layering the. Yeah.
Yeah, the black cubes have a name. I just forgot what it was called. It's something really good. But yeah, the goal of this is basically do not get... You basically... so the thing is, if I were to let any of those, any of the cubes go off the edge, I will lose... You see how it's kind of... Everything's in like a cube? Or everything's, like, tiled? Basically that will, if I let anything fall off, I will lose a section. That I have to work with. Also, destroying the black cubes will also cause a section to fall off. Also, the name of our character is Elliot.
I just love how melodramatic the music is.
So you can see that if you look at the top left, the blue boxes that are filling are basically subsections of the stage. Now what I want to do is wait for it to get there, there. And you can hold square to make him go faster. This sucks. Yeah, I forgot how good the music is in this game.
It's really good, but it's also really out of place.
So now that I've done all 4 subsections of the stage, yeah. So there we go.
Okay, but that flourish is really good. I love Intelligent Qube. I really appreciate when games like fully take advantage of the CD audio.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for the follow.
Yeah, thank you for following. Oh, crap.
Yeah, you gotta really think this one out.
Let it pass. Okay. Okay. This one. See where it's gonna go. Be very careful not to press the wrong button.
The music is so good, but he's so incredibly out of place. So there's like a right rhyme or reason to getting the targets.
The what?
Like the target moves.
It's just point bonus.
Okay.
No, I'm not gonna get it.
God, you are consistently one off.
Yeah.
Welcome to hell.
There we go. This one's gonna be willy over. Oh wow, I actually got that under. True genius. Ooh, that was close. Nope,
Do they ever add in any new things, or is it just the?
I'm pretty sure it's just this.
I'm not saying it's bad. They've already managed to make it actually surprisingly like complicated for how relatively simple it is.
Yeah.
I say you didn't need that last one, but yeah.
It also doesn't penalize you for going over, which is also very nice.
Yeah, no, it's just a score bonus. Oi.
That should be stage 2.
You did it.
I'm glad that it does it one at a time.
Just a shame like that the musical flourish doesn't last.
Yeah.
I do like the ominous warble though.
Okay, let's.
Oh yeah, that's right. It does change the color.
Also, we're no longer at 4, I think. God, this is getting to be some Kings of Field ass music.
I wonder what would happen if you put this in a CD player.
Hopefully you don't blow up. And also, I think I royally boned this up.
Yeah, you kinda fucked it. You bungled the hell out of this.
Yeah. God, now I'm just curious about how wide did this ever get?
Buzzer's Qube.Category.
Also, by the way, if you don't actually... I can't remember what the... I think that's actually what the thing at the bottom is. If you cause that many errors, you actually have to play that section of the stage over again.
Oh, Jesus.
I think. I know there is a way that you have to do a section of a stage over again. Also, now that we're getting more... wider, my entire strategies are starting to go like...
Oh, so you fucked it.
This should mostly be good.
But yeah, the composer is Takayuki Hattori, who is the son of Katsuhisa. Yeah, Katsuhisa Hattori.
What did they do?
Let's see. He scored all of the Slayers films.
Oh, that's not good. That's not good.
And the OAV series. Martian successor Nadesco. No, Nadesco. Yeah, whatever the hell it is. Anime series and film. He scored the live-action films Godzilla 2000, Godzilla vs. Space Godzilla, and Welcome Back, Mr. McDonald.
Godzilla vs. Space Godzilla is a fun movie.
I mean, with a name like that, I'd be sad if it wasn't.
There are some bad Godzilla movies, though.
Okay, I somewhat recovered.
Oh shit, he did Ark the Lad Twilight of the Spirits, huh?
Oh, I boned this hardcore. Oh, this is not good. This might be the end of me.
Yeah, he's done a bunch of shit all over the place, but nothing I'd really...
I do not have enough room for this.
I mean, he was the orchestral arranger and conductor on Jam Project's Victoria Cross and Thumb Rise Again albums.
Nope, this is it. I'm dead.
he's done really nothing of note.
Yep. That's it. And then after every game, I get an IQ rating of 127.
Damn. He's smart.
Oh, I never realized that it shows you how many stages there are.
Holy shit.
Yeah, that's gonna... Yeah. I wonder
I think they've shown off this game.
I'm actually kind of curious. Okay, so apparently there's ways to unlock other characters, I just don't know how.
Elliot looks like such a fucking goob.
And then also there are... You can change textures, unfortunately it doesn't show you what the textures look like.
Well, let's see what 4's like.
Section, or texture 4?
Yeah.
Oh, goddammit. Also... Oh, I didn't... Oh, right. Also, game mode. What's game mode? Okay, apparently we don't have anything. Although it does look... I wonder if that can't be a level select. So, I don't know. Let's see. Whoop. Let's see what this looks like.
First stage.
Oh, it looks pretty similar. Yeah. Oh, also there's other camera angles too.
What is 2?
Not good because it.
Oh! Oh god, that is awful.
And then this is kind of something similar. Yeah, that.
Supremely bad.
Yeah, that. I think we've seen enough of that then.
Yeah, we've definitely seen enough.
Oh, hey, we're 16. All right. So yeah, that is. That is Intelligent Qube. I am going to go ahead and say that is a better game than Puyo Puyo.
Yes.
Yes.
Very yes.
Qube, make sure it's spelled right. 1997. Developed by, I think it. Oh, it's like. Oh, what was the name of the studio?
I just had it open too.
Is it WS Studios?
It is Epic's G Artists.
How do you spell that?
They were G Artists Inc.
Oh, G Artists Inc. That is a PSX game?
Yeah, G-Artists. Yep.
G-Art. Okay. Okay. And
yeah, they later would change to Epics.
Oh, geez. What do I... So it's... I would say that's more puzzle game than block game.
Yeah, that's much more of a puzzle game.
And then that's tonal...
Oh, they later would do Parappa the Rappa for
I think
PSP.
I think they did the port.
Yeah, they did the PSP port.
OST, I think that's an A.
Yeah, like pretty much their big claim to fame was Popolo-Croy, Monogatari, or whatever the hell it is.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think that I'm pretty sure you'd probably agree that the OST is an A.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. The OST is amazing.
Worldcraft, though.
And it's kind of a shame that the composer hasn't really done more of note.
Yeah. Let's see, Worldcraft. I would almost say this
There's
is
a
X.
world? Yeah, it doesn't exist.
Yeah, it is as much as you need, which is exactly what it needs.
It is strictly a puzzle game, and it doesn't want to be anything else.
Yeah. Craftsmanship. At least a B.
I'd say B. Yeah, no, it's a solid game.
Yeah.
Like, it holds up. Like, it's very simple, but because of that, it works. Its impact is non-existent.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
I would put it as a D. People know Intelligent Cube.
Yeah.
It's just it had no impact as like a franchise.
For age, I would definitely say either A or B.
Yeah, no, it's aged great. Like it is. It still holds up because it's so simple. That's the thing. It's so simple.
I would say
at
maybe
its core.
B in that case. Or B.
Yeah,
because
I mean it's
theoretically you could have done better, but I mean not
it's a PS1,
yeah.
That's really its only issue.
Touch, I would say maybe B?
Yeah,
Because it's not
B
super
sounds fine.
hard. But it also...
No, it's as hard as you make it.
Yeah. But it's not super easy because it doesn't go out of the way to
No.
make it. It's very approachable, but...
It's once again, it's very simple, but
it is as good as you are.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's once again, it's very simple, and with that, they do a lot of stuff.
Right. So, that brings us to our last game.
Oh boy, what is our last game?
Very predictable.
Go on.
Yeah, so if we're talking puzzle games, why don't I just load up this game?
Tell me more about your brand.
Yeah, this is an MSX game.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Yeah, it is an MSX game.
It's an MSX game.
Yeah, this is Eggerland Mystery.
Yeah, who could have seen this coming?
Yeah, so this game... yeah, it's a 1985 HAL Laboratories game, back when they were creating MSX games. Stars a little blue fuzzball by the name of Lolo, who is trying to save his girlfriend, or his... Technically, this game has a story, and at this point is basically trying to save a princess named Lala. Yeah, so this is the start.
Supposed to be fuzzy?
I don't know if at this point, but they definitely make him look fuzzy. Later games, they definitely make him look fuzzy. Or granted, yeah. At this point, I don't know if what they were trying to do. Actually, one thing that I think would kind of show off how well thought they fought into the future. One sec, let me just quick grab something. All right, so let me read verbatim from the manual for this game. Because it kind of shows the era of story in games. So let me just kind of get it so they can see this, because this is a very small font. Oh, I need to make this a lot brighter. I don't even know if I'll be able to get it bright enough. I'm going to need it. Anyway, basically the funny thing is it tells the entire story of the game in this paragraph, up to and including the point Lolo rescues Lala, and they live happily ever after they get married. That's in the manual. So yeah, I don't think HAL, when they made this, intended to make this a huge franchise, but let's go ahead and might as well actually just start taking a look at this game. Okay, so yeah, it does have a password system, which is nice, because there are 105 stages in this game.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Basically, if you want to start round one, you just put whatever you want. Okay, so, let me just do this real quick.
Yeah, he's really round in this one.
Yeah, so you control Lolo. This game is very grid heavy. But basically the point of the game is to collect all the little, in this game, diamonds, and then reach the exit. So right now we're kind of stuck, except for the fact that the diamond that I picked up gave us 2 egg shots. The way eggs work is the first time you shoot an enemy, it'll turn into an egg, which you can push around like a normal box. Second time you shoot it while they're an egg, they will disappear for a while. So, do this.
Does this version, does this game have the half-tile bullshit that would come in later games?
I think you technically can do that, but I don't think it will do as much.
Okay, because that was what I was going to ask.
What you mean?
So there are some mechanics in this game that get a little confusing, but since this is the first release, I don't think they get quite into it.
Cause seriously, fuck that half-tile garbage.
Yeah, it can be a little confusing if you're not really into the game. So, there's 2 things that kind of... So, also I should have mentioned, those snake enemies are completely harmless. There's no way that they can kill you, at least directly. Unlike these things, so these are they're just skulls. They're not, like, they don't have a fancy name. They are completely immobile right now. But that will change in a little bit. So we kind of want to make it so that they basically have the longest path to take in order to get to me. Because once I collect all the diamonds, they wake up. And if they touch me at that point, I'm instantly dead. Okay, so these things. These are goals. They're little dragons that, much like skulls, are asleep when you spawn in the stage. Also, a weird thing that this version of the game does, or that this game does, is that it can have things hiding over the exit, which other games will not do. So the thing with these things is that there's a very specific reason why they are drawn facing different directions. There's no way that they can change direction because, and that's good, because when I collect this, they all wake up, and in that case, if I were to cross their path, even if I'm not directly, even if there's something in front of me, they shoot fire. That fire, as you can probably expect, is lethal.
It's gonna murder his buddy forever.
Now these are probably one of the more deadliest monsters ever, or like in this franchise. These are Medusas. A Medusa does exactly what you'd expect a Medusa to do. That is turn you to stone. So the way that these things work is if they have a direct line of sight to you, and this is kind of where the half-tile thing kind of more comes in. If they have a direct line of sight to you, you die instantly. So like, I'll just kind of show it off. So I grab this. There's no way I can avoid that. So
dodges.
Yeah, so you want to kind of basically push blocks in order to prevent them from getting line of sight. And here's the half-tile thing. It is direct line of sight. So if something's blocking halfway, it won't go through. So here we just want to push these boxes. Also, the diamond framers will also prevent them from shooting you, so that is good. Also, you can push blocks over.
Okay, that's what I was worried about.
I don't think that's as big a deal as it probably could be. So, these are very annoying enemies. These are Almas. Or Armas. They kind of don't have a consistent name. But basically, they're armadillos. They are constantly moving, and if I touch them, they will be lethal. However, they are very exploitable. So here's one of the main things that can get you killed in this game, and that is pushing blocks too far. I don't know if I can salvage this. So, thankfully, one mechanic of these games that are nice is the ability to kill yourself.
Just gut yourself on the spot.
So yes, kill yourself, you will lose a life. So yeah, that is where you gotta be kind of careful with pushing these blocks. Which, sometimes when you're in a hurry, can be kind of annoying. So here's the main way that these guys are exploitable. If you are on a horizontal line with them, they will roll into a ball, and they will roll in the direction that they're kind of facing. And they will not stop rolling until they hit a solid object. That is one thing I will say about all the enemies in this game, is that they are very cheerful.
All are really happy to kick your face in.
Except for the Medusas.
The Medusas, they just want to sleep. Yeah, and actually, so in this version, or so in this game, we've seen all the enemies in the game. There are a few other enemies that will become mainstays in the series. They do not show up until this game's sequel. Which actually takes a rather strange departure from this style of game. Because this, you're basically doing puzzle after puzzle after puzzle. This game's sequel actually will have it so that you're actually kind of exploring a giant maze. Well, kind of maze. Basically, think of like a Zelda dungeon, like linked room by room, like especially the older Zeldas. And that is kind of how it works. So every 5 stages, we have one of these, a bonus stage, where we have infinite shots and nothing can kill us. And this is really only magnified in the MSX version, but just because of how slow everything kind of moves. But you can only have one shot out on screen at a time, including an egg flying off the screen. Which in-game, that normally doesn't make a difference, but here it can kind of be a little annoying. So, every 5 stages you get a password. Also, that special word at the bottom. You can only access the last 5 stages if you input a special password, which you get from those special words. So you kind of have to mark this 10-character long password in order to get to the last 5 stages.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so here, this introduces another mechanic, which I'll play it on Screw Up. So, when you turn an enemy into an egg, you can also push it in the water, and you can also walk over it on accident. I hope I didn't screw myself over.
You totally did.
Yep. Actually, I might be able to salvage this.
No, you... Yeah. No, you're turbo fuck.
No, I can salvage this. Walk over here. So you can only have one egg floating on the water at the same time. So here, wait for the egg to despawn. Shoot that, grab this, and then climb on here. As you could probably expect, if I were to stand on that egg while it despawned, I would die. Okay, so here...
Also weird that the game introduces the concept of currents.
Yeah, so that's kind of an annoying thing that really doesn't get fixed until a game which may or may not actually belong in the series, or not series, but count as an official release, is that currents in the game are invisible. There's no real way to tell what path a current will take until you actually push something into it. Let's see. Okay, hopefully you give me eggs. Okay, good. Okay.
Murdered him dead.
Okay, so here is another, so this is what the power box is for. Basically, if I get, let's see, is that a countdown? Okay, so as I get these diamond framers, eventually at some point, let me think. Well, let's just try this. I don't think that's good. I think that I screwed myself over.
No, you didn't. You still got...
well... So, here's the thing. If I walk down, the way that these arrows work is that you can walk on top of them. The thing is if you try and walk into one, in the direction that it's the... Might as well just show it off. So, I can walk over it, but I can't walk up. So, if it's pointing in the direction that you're kind of walking against, you can't go through it. So... I think I can just do... So... I can just do... Okay, so now that I grab that diamond framer, you can see that that's blinking. So the next diamond framer that I'll get, I will have the ability... I can push this up. And then with my power, I can rotate the arrow, I guess that'd be counterclockwise?
no, that was clockwise.
Okay. Oh, right. Yeah. Okay, so here we go. So the bridge...
Look at all those boys partying.
Yeah, the bridge power-up is pretty self-explanatory on what it does. Or it does exactly what you'd imagine it to do. Okay, so I hope that this does what I think it's gonna do. Okay, good. There. So yep, the bridge power up, you place a bridge. So then here... no, that is also another thing. You do not...
What?
I need another egg.
Yeah, you shot one off screen and I was really confused.
Yeah, I thought I had it.
No, because what you're supposed to do is, I think you're supposed to go around that green block instead of pushing it forward.
Yeah. Oh, right, and also I did that. Also did that wrong that way as well. There you use the bridge, then you do that, then you do that. The thing with the eggs not showing up from framers is actually not as big a deal because it's usually pretty obvious about what's going to give you an egg or not.
You made a mistake.
That should be good. So the thing with the fire actually is that if you space yourself wide enough or far enough away from the fire, you should be fine. Usually, in most games, it's 2 spaces. In this, I think it's a little bit farther away. So here's a puzzle that actually only can appear... is a lot harder looking than it actually is. Because it's actually really simple. Because basically all you have to do is... once you make the Medusas... once you push something in front of each one, then it's actually not that big a deal. Let me figure out what would be the best way of handling this. Do this. So basically, the main puzzle of this is to find out where exactly the exit is.
Now the real fun begins.
Yeah, because it's basically just pushing a lot of blocks. Yeah. Now it's basically it's do this. And I want to say it's somewhere around here. Yeah, it's right there. Okay. So...
I hate that one is supposed to be trial and error. That's kind of really shitty.
Yeah, they don't do that usually after this game. Okay. Also, that kind of showed off one thing that can kind of be a little bit irritating, is that if you hit an enemy, like, on the side, sometimes it does not egg them. But though granted, that really only affects... is an issue in these stages, which... I think you... I don't even know what you get from doing the bonus stage. Like, I think it might be an additional extra life. Nope.
Oh. Crap. You shitty little worm.
Okay, so let me do this real quick so I can show off another thing. Do this. And actually, I am going to do... That's the right key? Nope. Let me just do this then. You're going to restart. And show off mode B, which is actually pretty much only in this game. And there's a very good reason why it's only in this game. Because it makes 0 sense in a puzzle game like this. Oh! Well, okay. That works. So 1, you have a timer.
Wait, what was that?
It's a space we walked on. And that uncovered that wing.
The crown, though?
Yep, so... as we walk over... So basically what that... so... those are bonus points. So, those things are entirely...
Enjoy your liar.
Yeah, so that is the only thing with those is that... yeah, it's entirely it's point bonuses. Yeah, it's a scoring mode. In this game, of all games. There's a very good reason why this does not show up in later games.
Because it's dumb?
Yes. Also, you know, giving a timer is also kind of annoying.
Okay, but it's really good in a stage like this.
Yep.
And are they all at points between the dragons or whatever they are?
Nope.
Oh. Roadie.
Oh, alright.
Shouldn't you collect each of them separately to get more points?
I don't know if they override each other. Oh, it doesn't.
They don't. Earlier, when you collected a laurel and then a lyre.
Huh. They both get 50?
I don't know if they both give 50. All I know is that, yeah, you got both.
Huh. God, that is...
Awful, yes.
Yeah. Oh. No. Well, let's try this. God, this is such a weird way of thinking about, like, these kind of puzzles. Oh, it's not gonna matter, because... Yeah, that's that. I should probably show off the construction mode, which is something that is unfortunately a thing that really only appears in this one. Except this one and another one in the a few games from now. But construction mode is exactly what you expect it to be. Also, it's apparently keyboard only.
Gross.
So yeah, you can... It is... Also... Oop! Wrong button.
Oh, is it the right button?
That's a reset button. But yeah, you can make your own stages. The thing with that is, though, it overwrites the other stages.
What?
Yeah, if you don't like a stage, you can just completely clear it out.
Oh, okay.
Which is interesting.
It's a bit.
So, also the thing with, actually now that we're seeing this attract mode, so one thing also that this stage requires is that if you take a look at that, there is no way you can complete the stage without having that goal try and shoot fire at you. And there's no way you can push a block up there either. The thing with the goal's fire is that you can only, much like your eggs, can only have one on screen at a time. So what you do is you get it to fire, duck underneath it, and then move past it, and then continually ducking underneath it. So there are weird... This game really likes doing puzzles based on its mechanics. Which makes you think it... I could see it kind of turning some people off, but I think it's kind of a neat way of trying to make you think about them. Oh, actually, now that I think about it, this is how you're supposed to do it. So you get the thing to roll and do that. So yeah. Also, one fun fact about this game has no ending. When you beat stage 105, it goes back to title screen.
Okay.
Yep.
It's weird when you assign a game a plot and then just kind of do something like that.
Because that's the thing. It has the plot in the manual, and it's like, oh, here's why everything's here.
But, not giving you that satisfaction.
Yeah. That is something that is definitely remedied in later games.
No shit.
Yeah. But yeah. That is Eggerland Mystery. So... Yeah. I understand with these games that it's going to be a little weird to kind of rank these just because, you know, me. But I do want to be partial on these. I would probably put this above Puyo, but probably not above Intelligent Qube.
Intelligent Qube is definitely a better built game.
Yeah, especially since this one is so... It's like the Sonic 1 of puzzle games. Because the mechanics are there, but it just plays so weird.
Yeah, the pieces aren't quite put together right.
Yeah. Yeah. Eggerland Mystery. Now, when it comes to later games in the franchise, that's when things are going to get interesting.
Tell me more, Mr. Lolo.
Oh, also, I did that wrong. So yeah, that was also 1985. HAL Laboratories. For the NSX. NSX. That is a puzzle game. I would say that the tone overall is maybe somewhat cute.
Yeah, it's definitely cutesy.
Yeah.
Like it's very cutesy. Like just look at the sprites.
Yeah. That is one thing that you can that definitely goes that definitely is good is definitely you can see the kind of the lineage to Kirby that this franchise kind of has. But yeah. OST.
The one song that slowly drives you insane.
Unfortunately, that is a series staple. I want to say I want to say Eggerland Mystery has actually one of the longer songs of that type.
Oh.
But it's not a bad song. It's just the only song. And I will fully admit that the music in the Eggerland series can get downright infuriating. So yeah, it's C tops.
I would say D. It's like a very short loop.
It is a very short loop. There is some charm to it, but it is. You basically want to play this game on mute sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say D. World building is the characters are kind of cute, but the lack of an ending, like it is like Intelligent Qube. Although I would, from what I'd give,
and the world building in this is set dressing. Like
it's
Intelligent Qube doesn't have a world. This does, but it's all in the manual.
Yeah, which is kind of meh.
So I'd say I'd give it like a D or C.
Yeah, I would say
like,
D.
What's there is super cute. Yeah.
Yeah, for this one, I mean, it lacks an ending. Like, not even a little congratulations screen. It just boots to the title screen.
Yeah, no, once again, the world itself is just, it's set dressing.
Yeah. Craft. I think for what it does, like, games around...
The puzzles are solid. Yeah, the puzzles are fine.
Yeah, so I would give it maybe it's either... I'm thinking either C or B.
Yeah,
I would maybe go towards C because there's...
I would aim towards C given what comes after because this has some bullshit in it.
Yeah, because they quickly abandon it. Well, yes, and technically they abandoned some, like the whole moving blocks over, like obscuring where the exit is. They don't do. The thing is, at least one of the games in the franchise, basically, they do basically what Super Mario Brothers 1 did with Super Mario Brothers 2, how it was just basically the game, but you needed to know every single mechanic. There's a later game that does that kind of nonsense, but that is not this, and that's not for a while. Impact, I would say probably a D.
Yeah.
Because, I mean... The franchise has its fans, like even besides me. Just from knowing like the Adventure of Lolo games on the NES, there are some people. I mean, it has a cult following, but yeah, I would not say that it is a well-known genre or well-known franchise.
As a series, it has died in relative obscurity.
Yeah, it is basically, oh, hey, that's neat, that one boss from Kirby. Of all the ones in the franchise, this one has aged the most.
Yeah, no, it's once again, it's the others would refine it, but this is
Not only
Very
that,
raw.
but this is something you can really only kind of. It really makes a lot more sense when you've played games later in the franchise. But this one is very sluggish. Like, you move at about half the speed, or maybe not half the speed, but like you move you definitely move slower. Things just move in generally more muddy than the NES ones do. So yeah, unfortunately, that kind of makes it age a little bit more. For touch, I think that one might be. I don't think it's gonna. It's not getting above C. That's for sure.
Yeah, no, it's a dick.
It's a dick, but it's not as much of a dick as it possibly
No,
can.
I would say flat out C is fine.
Yeah.
Like it's approachable enough, even if it does ramp up real hard.
Right. So yeah, that is Eggerland Mystery. It is our number 2. Which also this actually kind of shows off one of the things that I kind of liked about doing this whole these rankings here. Because I mean, this is our number 2, but it's definitely like comparing these, like how this kind of shows like, oh, it's 2, but it's definitely it's showing its age. So a different kind of metric. So yeah, that was pretty much what I had planned to look at. So I think that's going to call it an episode. So yeah, thank you for watching. If you would like to keep up to date with Retro Rank Rhapsody, you can follow me on Twitter at LoloThePuzzlo, or join my Discord server by going to the URL discord.ldp.life. Thank you for watching, and I hope you stop by again.